So hello gamers and welcome back to another video. You're probably wondering, why did I spawn in and why am I using the BFG in top 10 highest fire rate guns? It's because I wanted to get a freaking BFG kill at the beginning of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Yeah, today we're gonna do top 10 highest freaking shoot gun fire guns. What's the title? Top 10 highest fire rate gun fan of force. Yeah, let's hit a trick shot. Make sure to like and subscribe to my comments by commenting Joe down below in the next 10 seconds, or else this M3A1 will put a bullet in your skull at 3 AM. So at number 10, we got the Mac 10. Okay, so I'm actually using the highest recoil setup on this gun. Unintentional. It's from a video a while ago, and I just really don't use the Mac 10 at all, apparently. The Mac 10 has 1090 RPM. It's like extremely specific. It's 1090, not 1100, not 1000. We're switching over to an acceptable setup on this gun, okay? This is gonna have a little bit better recoil. But yeah, this gun has over 1000 RPM. It's only number 10 because there's a lot of really high RPM guns in this game, and it's crazy how this is number 10 because most of the guns on this list just weren't in the game like 1-2 years ago. It's kind of insane, not gonna lie. But yeah, the Mac 10, it's got a 2-hit kill head, 3-hit kill up close to the body, and it kind of drops off super hard. It has really bad ranges, but it's got 1090 RPM. At number 9, we have the K7. Now the K7 only has 10 more RPM, only a 10 difference, but like some guns sound faster than others, even though they're like the same speed. The K7 has similar fire rate to the Mac 10, but damage-wise, it's way different. It does a lot less damage. It has a slower muzzle velocity, but it has a faster reload time and lower recoil. I'm not gonna lie, you could almost say that the Mac 10 is better than the K7 at this point, but like, you know, it's kind of debatable. Like the K7, it's decent. It's a pretty good gun. Is the Vector better and always has been better? In my opinion, yes, but you know, some people will disagree with me on that. The K7 is going to be a 4 to a 7 hit now, which is pretty trash. If you use hollow point, it will 3-hit kill up close, which is decent, but it's going to be like an 8-hit kill at range with hollow point, so I don't necessarily recommend that. It kills pretty quick anyway. It's very similar to the 9mm Vector. However, I don't really like the 9mm Vector, so why would I use this? Also, the 9mm Vector is kind of better than this. It has bigger magazine, better reserve, kind of just better recoil, better velocity, and it's on the Vector, which is a gun I like more. It also fires faster. Speaking of, at number 8, we have the Chris Vector. This is tied with guns like the Micro Uzi, and it has 1200 fire rate, which is pretty quick. However, this has kind of better recoil. I am using a ammo type that increases the recoil, but it fires faster, has better velocity, better damage, has a slower reload time, and a smaller magazine, but like that's literally the only disadvantage of the gun. Also, it does fire faster, which is kind of annoying for a lot of people if they're bad at the game, because faster RPM is cool, and I like the Vector way more than the K7. It does super great damage. It just kills super fast. It's a little bit more difficult to use than the K7 because of the reload time and the ammo consumption, because you really got to hit your shots. You got 1.25 seconds before you empty your magazine, which is really not that great. Like if I'm gonna shoot the entire mag, that's all I got. That's all the time I got, or I'm completely out of rounds, which is pretty trash. Makes the gun kind of difficult to use at range, you know? And I am using 45 Super, which makes the damage at range awful, but the velocity a lot better. I really like the Vector. It's definitely like my favorite gun on this list, I'd say. I didn't even pre-buy it when it was super great or anything, and I've been playing this game since like 2015, so should have pre-bought it. Holy. At number 7, we have with 25 more RPM, the M231, which I wanted to show a pretty interesting setup on, which is M855 and vertical grip, which for some reason, aimfire pretty trash, right? The hipfire is really accurate on this setup. I don't know. I might actually put this in like an underrated setups video, but yeah, it's got 1225 RPM. It actually feels almost like it fires faster than the Vector, but it really doesn't. Well, it does, but only by 25 RPM. It just feels like more. Sadly, I forgot that I hate M855. Screw that ammo type. But yeah, high recoil gun, funny. The Vector is kind of better in my opinion. It has a 3-hit kill, 2-hit kill head. It just feels better. I don't know, man. The M231 does reload faster, has better damage range, better velocity. It's better than the K7, okay? It is better than the K7. I hate the K7. It's bad. Respectfully, though, K7 is like the easiest to use gun on this list because the recoil is pretty easy to control, but I'm just not a big fan of it, man. Not gonna lie. So next up, we actually have the Mac 10 again with 9mm, as well as the machine pistol known as the MP1911 with 9x19. I'm not gonna lie, MP1911 with 9x19 is pretty good. It shoots at 1300 RPM, and it will do 25 damage, which isn't really that great. However, the recoil is pretty good, and it's kind of just like a slightly better version of the Tech 9. The old Tech 9 was way better than this, but you know, it's a pretty decent conversion if you like high fire rate guns that can still do decent damage, because let's be real, Tech 9 damage, pretty trash. It's only 1 less than this, but here's the thing. The Tech 9 takes 5 shots to kill. This takes 4 shots to kill. That's better. What are you doing up there, dude? Okay, we got 6 rounds. You're a guy down there. Frick, I missed. Unlike the default gun, which is going to be a 3-hit kill body, 2 shot to the head at 36 damage, this has 11 less damage, which is kind of big. It's going to be a 4-hit kill and a 3-hit kill, but only if all of them are headshots, so don't expect to get any 3 shots. Because this gun, it's got some recoil, but like, I'm not going to lie, if you like fast-firing guns or close range, it's a good gun. Like, it's really good. Better than freaking Mac 10 9mm. Frick Mac 10 9mm. Mac 10 9mm is like fart. It literally does less damage than this and has like, yeah, bigger magazine, but it's got the same RPM. It's got like worse damage at range. Straight up, dude. Bad gun. This, however, on the other hand, pretty good. Pretty good conversion. I'm not gonna lie. See if I can get a long range kill. Okay, I can't. Let me just F5 myself. Now, next up, we have a PDW, and this gun is pretty quick as well. It is the Tommy gun with the ammo type known as M1919 conversion. Now, this conversion is really funny because basically it doubles your already decently fast RPM to this. That's your RPM. It's pretty cool. This will only be able to fire for like 0.75 seconds before you empty your magazine, so I guess like get good. So the same fire rate as the Tech 9. This is tied with the Tech 9, but frick the Tech 9, it's not good. But this, on the other hand, does 37 to 19 damage with a 60 stud max damage range. That is pretty crazy, considering 2 shot to the head, 3 shot to the body. That means that this gun has a minimum time to kill of 0.04 seconds. Yes, it can kill in like 1/25th of a second. Now, the default one is 0.08 seconds. That's pretty decent. But going to 0.04 seconds, now that's just something else, my guy. This is incompatible with the 50-round drum, which I wish it was compatible. It would probably be super busted, but like, I just want to see it for one time. I want to see the 50-round drum version of this, you know? But yeah, fires extremely fast, and the empty reload is kind of trash, but the tactical reload is really good. So if you're not dumping your entire magazine, it is actually decently viable. As you can see, 2.3 second, I think. Here's the problem. When your gun dumps its entire magazine in like 0.75 seconds, it's pretty difficult to not get an empty reload. You know, like even there, 2 rounds left and I wasn't even firing for that long. So it makes it pretty high skill, but like, it's not really the best. People don't really use it super often because it's a little bit overkill in terms of RPM, and the reload is cool and all, but like, that reload for empty is not that great, and you know, it's just got a little bit too much recoil. Holy, that guy was trash. Is it worth pre-buying on the gun? It's like 5,000 credits, so maybe not, but like, if you have the Tommy gun already and you just want to troll and not really have the best gun but have a very fun gun to use, I recommend this. I feel like you might even be able to get a 100 kill game with it, but it would be pretty difficult because of the ammo consumption on it. But the TTK is really good, so if you're hitting your initial shots with it, it can kill pretty quick, you know? But at number 4, we have an assault rifle known as the AN94. Now, the AN94 has a 600 RPM automatic. However, it has a 1,800 RPM burst. That's 2 shots right there. This burst is kind of not that powerful, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty dookie fart, and actually it used to be the default fire rate, which is pretty trash. I mean, the default fire mode. Like, you had to press V every time you spawned in because you wouldn't want to use burst, because if you use auto, you can actually just click 1 time and get the burst on the auto, which is pretty cool. However, since this gun can't 2-shot, even to the head, there's not really a lot of reason to be using the burst except at very long ranges, and even then, it's not really that powerful. Now, you know what would be pretty cool? If they gave it a 7.62 conversion to be able to 2-shot kill to the head, and yes, they did. 7.62 is a pretty nice kind of AK conversion, but it has that initial hyper burst, which means you can theoretically 1-burst people if you're hitting the head, which is pretty cool, and also you can just use the automatic and have essentially just like a weird AK variant. And also the initial burst will fire 2 rounds down range, which is kind of cool because you can get that initial burst and then get a 3rd shot with the 600 RPM auto, which means the TTK, even to the body, is pretty good, but like the headshot TTK with the burst is like 0.03 seconds. But next up though, we have the G11K2. The G11K2 is a very fast firing burst weapon at 2,100 RPM. Is that 2 shots right there? No, it's 3. It's kind of cool. This gun can also 3-shot kill to the torso in close range up to 90 studs, which is pretty cool, and it can also 3-shot kill to the head at any range, especially since it has perfect accuracy with the burst. Actually, basically 1 burst at any range to the head, which is kind of cracked. I'm not gonna lie. This gun is way better than the A94, at least for the burst function, and I like it way more than the A94. I've never been a huge fan of the A94. I used it when I was a very low rank, and I did have to press V every time I spawned. It was like 2016, so that was literally like 6 years ago. That's insane. But yeah, if you're great with burst weapons, I recommend the G11. It's basically just the best burst in the game, so use it, definitely. But if you want to use like M16A4, that also works. I just think that this is just the best burst in the entire game. Can you peek me, dude? Literally no recoil gun, as long as you don't spam it, because, you know, the first three... Okay, A12, I get it. At number 2, we have the E-gun or coil gun, the full power type, or the home defense setup, depending on which one you're using. These guns have a 3,000 RPM burst, and you're probably like, okay, that's 3 shots there, right? No, that's 5 in that burst. That is 5 rounds being fired. The coil gun is pretty decent. The E-gun is kind of but like for close range, the coil gun is pretty good, since you can actually get it to 5 shot to the head, which is pretty good considering it fires so fast in a burst. But at the same time, the damage is not really the best. It does have, you know, decent time to kill, but I do not recommend this gun if you plan on getting high kill games or anything. But it's a decent gun, you know, it's not the best. Now, the E-gun, on the other hand, the E-gun sucks. Don't use the E-gun. The E-gun's a primary, and it's just kind of worse than the coil gun, which is funny. The coil gun is like the only primary or secondary in the entire game that's just straight up better than its primary counterpart, at least in my opinion, because of the silver discs ammo type. Not a bad gun. It's just, you know, not necessarily the best gun in the game. Holy, that guy's like one tap, right? What is going on? But yeah, that's a coil gun for you, man. That's number 2, and you're probably like, okay, what's faster than 3,000? Well, what if a gun had an infinite RPM burst? These are 3 different guns that all have infinite RPM. The first one being the Stevens with the instant burst. The second one being, of course, the sawed off. And the third one being the AF 2011, which has an RPM of 999,000. So yeah, it fires... That's 2 shots, you know? 2 shots. Oh, wait, no, that's not the burst. Don't ask about the Steven setup. It's like a video from like 2 years ago, but yeah. These guns both have infinite RPM. Well, it says infinite, but it's not actually infinite. It's more like, you know, the 32 integer bit limit, like in millions of RPM. It's pretty funny. And no, if you slow down the video, it won't show you. It's so high that it doesn't matter how much you slow down the video. It just won't work because frame rate and stuff, you know, it's not going to be able to show 2 bullets leaving the gun. And I don't think theoretically it's possible at like any frame rate. Even if you had like 1,000 FPS and you slow down the video a lot, you're not going to be able to see one bullet leave before the other, but they do theoretically. So yeah, extremely high fire rate, literally basically infinite, but they're pretty cool guns. You know, I don't really like either of them that much anymore. They're burst weapons. They're firing 2 rounds at infinite RPM, and you know, the A94 is also 2-shot burst. I remember last time I made this video, some people were like, well, actually it's not infinite RPM because it's firing 2 bullets or something. I don't know. Well, yes, technically speaking, the Stevens DV, you're pulling 2 triggers, and this one, you're also pulling 2 triggers. Here's the thing. In game terms, that means absolutely nothing. The game says it's that much RPM. It's not you firing 2 triggers, because that would be really hard to program, especially into a Roblox game, and they just didn't do that. It just says infinite whatever RPM. Just a lot of RPM. Many bullets per second. Anyways, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my comments, and check out my other video on the Jonesy gun. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Wow, that guy sucks. Peace.